Hi, I hope I'm not playing my iTunes too loud this time, but it helps me talk without stalling out like I always do. It's 9 p.m. Friday night, and I want to take a nap, and then get up and eat something, and then go to a midnight screening of Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. So I want to make a really short video here. I am thinking that I want to try to do one topic answer videos to some of the things that have come up from my video about the current Wall Street bailout. And this first one is about third parties. Now, I've already said I am an enthusiastic supporter of Barack Obama. I think he's the best guy to have run for president in my lifetime, including all the famous ones that never got their chance to show us what they would have done, like Robert Kennedy and all that. I think he's awesome. And so there you go. But clearly a lot of people don't think so, and either because they actually disagree with his positions, or because they have something against him, or just because they cannot believe that any candidate, or any candidate who has a chance of becoming president, could really mean what they say, or even if they do mean it, could actually make things better. A thing called learned helplessness. And I completely sympathize with the learned helplessness, because in my entire adult life as a voter in the United States, it has always been the lesser of two evils, the inadequate candidate, the vote against something really bad, which frequently won anyway. So anyway, so there are a lot of people who commented on my video basically saying vote third party, Nader, and there were a couple of people, or like 3 people, who really flamed out on me. And of course I checked their channels, and of course there are always Ron Paul videos favorited. So third party, should you vote third party? Oh, well, I was gonna I'm just picking this out of the comments as being sort of the perfect synthesis of the challenge to me based on my previous video. Modern Requiem asks, I'm voting for Bob Barr. Does that make me part of the problem? And then he adds, or a bad American. Well, I think that in this election, if you think that John McCain would make a better president than Barack Obama, you're a fool. And if you think there's no difference between them, you're a fool. And I would go so far as to say that if you think that Obama cannot accomplish anything worth accomplishing as president, I'm not going to say you're a fool, because history has shown that presidents are always disappointing, and he will be disappointing, you know, like all the others, but I really believe he can make this country a better place. But I think you are objectively a fool if you think that John McCain becoming president would be better, or that there's no difference. And also, obviously, if you think that anyone but John McCain or Barack Obama is going to become president in this election, then you're a fool. So then the question becomes, if you vote third party, are you doing it in an attempt to undermine one or both candidates? I mean, no, that's not what I'm saying. I think obviously anybody who would vote third party in this election is trying to send a message, unless they're actually foolish enough to think that a third party candidate is going to win. And the question becomes, do you think you can send this message because it doesn't matter who wins? In which case, like I say, I think you're a fool. Do you think you can send this message even though you're confident that Barack Obama will win? Then, you know, I mean, I can't I can't predict who's actually going to win, and you know, what forces are actually going to make it happen. And people vote third party, so you know, what can I say about that? But if you think that what this country needs is a third party that is not, that will then not be corrupted in the same way that the two main parties have been corrupted, I think you're also living in a dream world, because basically the problems with the Democratic and Republican parties are the problems that any party that stood to become come into power would have. So any of these parties, if they got to the size where people with power and money saw them as somebody that needed to be cajoled or seduced or corrupted, then they would come under these same influences. And I mean, that's my opinion on that. As for the third-party candidates and whether or not I think that they would make a better president than Barack Obama, Rabbit Ape did a video about a month ago where he pointed everyone to this online survey where you answer a bunch of questions about policy, and then it tells you which candidate agrees with you most. And I took that a month ago, and then I took it again last night, and the results, just to see if you know, if anything had changed, and the results were off by a few percentile, but basically they were the same from one test to the next. Barack Obama agreed with was my top candidate, my most ideal candidate. He agreed with what I thought should be the policies on the questions that were asked 95% of the time. But then right under him was a three-way tie at 90% of the time between Ralph Nader, Cynthia McKinney, who I believe is the Green Party candidate, and Dennis Kucinich. So clearly, if it's just purely a question of what do they favor, there's, you know, I could easily live with any one of those three. And then, of course, the question becomes who can get elected and why. Now, Ralph Nader has publicly stated that he considers Obama to have been completely corrupted, and that he's, I mean, Ralph Nader makes it sound like Obama is his opposite, that they can't possibly be this close in policy from the way he talks about it. And that's the candidate who cannot win, talking about the candidate who can win. And if you believe that that Obama is simply going to betray everything that he supposedly stands for, then I think you need to ask yourself whether any candidate, well, no. What am I trying to say here? You've already undoubtedly asked yourself whether any candidate who can win could do it without betraying what they believe. And there's that learned helplessness again.